Hello and welcome to This One Precious Life and this special episode featuring Tracy Litt, where we talk about becoming the next level you. I hope you enjoy it. Here it is. Hello and welcome to this very special episode of This One Precious Life, as I'm joined by a guest I cannot wait to bring on in a second. Her name is Tracy Litt. Just if you're new listening, This One Precious Life is a podcast all about women's empowerment and living our best lives and authenticity and alignment and the energy we live in and manifestation and spirituality, and our guests can talk to all of that and more. So without any further ado, Tracy Litt is the founder of the School of Becoming, an international best-selling author, podcast host, science and spirituality teacher, and emotional healer. Tracy also holds her licensing in professional coaching, neurology, somatics, and hypnotherapy. Her revolutionary institute, the School of Becoming, integrates consciousness, neuroscience, healing, and energetics to help their students evolve to the next level version of themselves. It all starts with the core curriculum, identity evolution methodology, mind magic. And in every experience, the School of Becoming delivers, women experience a depth of love, connection, and community that is unparalleled. As Tracy states, community is medicine. Tracy's own journey from a single mother on food stamps to vice president of human resources to CEO and founder of a 7-figure personal growth company fuels her passion for ensuring that everyone knows that who they've been has zero indication of who they are becoming. Her podcast, The How of Within, is in season 3 and can be streamed on all major platforms. She has graced the TEDx stage with her talk titled Dear Fear, It's Not You, It's Me. Her self-help book, Worthy Human, was an international bestseller in 2019, and Tracy was named a top 125 global thought leader in 2022 in Success magazine. Tracy Litt's unwavering commitment to elevating visionary leaders and facilitating their incredible transformations has made her a force to be reckoned with in the world of personal development and holistic success. With her unique blend of science, spirituality, emotional healing, and compassion, Tracy guides her clients in unlocking their unlimited potential and creating a lasting impact on the world. Welcome, Tracy Litt.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I am humbled and I receive all of that.
I'm so pleased you do. I first came across Tracy. When was Conduit? That was a couple of months ago now?
Yeah, a few months ago.
So I joined Tracy, the School of Becoming's very generous experience that they put on, which we'll dive into in a minute, called Conduit. And I was bowled over. I think I follow a lot of things and try and build them into what I do. And what I hadn't seen before was this beautiful blend of leadership, spirituality, science, mindset, energetics, healing the nervous system, breath work, up-leveling consciousness and thinking about the new world and your legacy. And there was just like so much. And it felt, as I was experiencing the Conduit, so many pieces of a jigsaw falling into place. So yeah, I'd love to hear your words, a bit about your vision for Conduit and maybe about the School of Becoming.
Yes. So thank you, because what you just shared is our biggest differentiator and why we get the proven results, why our students get the proven results that they get, because our methodology is complete. It's not doing mindset over here and doing somatics over here and your energy over here and, all of these different components. We truly have cracked the code on what it takes to evolve your identity at the level of your nervous system so that you can experience sustainable long-term transformation. And that becoming process is what is required for women to become who they're capable of becoming, to be the version of you that your dreams require. To shift the habits and behaviors, the emotional states of being, paying attention to your vibration and your frequency, all of it lives inside of evolving your identity. So when you prioritize that, everything else follows and flows. And the conduit experience is we do various virtual free live experiences online throughout the year. Typically we do 2 of them. And conduit is one of the ones that we do. So we have more amazing stuff coming too that all plays in that cross section of consciousness, neuroscience, emotional agility, and somatics, so that you're always getting what you experienced through different topics and subject matters. So Conduit was a 3-day experience. And what I love about Conduit and why we love doing it is you are the conduit. You are the vessel. You are the common denominator. You are the root cause of every effect. And when you can own that because you operate from your inherent worth, then everything else opens up for you.
Yes. And the sense that, if we're not clear, if there's congestion because we haven't felt all our feelings, or all that, so much in there, then whatever that comes through us as the vessel is either going to be clear or it's going to be contaminated in some
Yes,
way.
exactly.
And I'd like to say, just dive into a little bit more on that, how that links to feeling our feelings all the way through.
Yeah.
Because I've always thought I do feel my feelings, and I'm wondering whether actually I'm not feeling them, really feeling them all the way through. Like, for example, not to necessarily get too much into politics, but the recent unfolding of events.
Yeah.
I had a heavy heart and felt sad and numb, but I didn't cry. And so I thought, actually, what would that look like? And I've actually signed up, and I'm sure you can tell our listeners about your upcoming workshop on feeling your feelings. But I think there's something still to learn there. And I wonder whether there's many of us walking around thinking we're feeling our feelings, and maybe we're not fully.
Yeah. It's a very, very common thing because emotional suppression and repression is so prominent. Because I've never had a visionary woman come to me as a student and have come from a liberally emotional household. It just didn't exist. So this isn't one of those things that maybe you need it. This is a guarantee. This is something you need to learn and learn how to practice it, because everything we've been taught about emotion up until now is harmful and unhelpful and detrimental. And it creates judgment and good or bad or right or wrong. And when we realize how we were raised and how that imprints our nervous system, there are things that are not conscious where your system's just like, nope, we're not going to feel that because we never felt that before. And if it's unfamiliar at the level of our body, then our system is going to resist allowing us to experience it. So everyone deserves to shift their relationship with emotion and open up and feel their feelings. And what I love the most about what you said, like letting the cycle complete, because stuck emotions in our body is stress in our body. And if we don't allow the stress cycle to finish, then that just stays in the body and creates a lot of disharmony and dis-ease in the body, resulting in all types of things: money issues, physical issues, mental issues. If you experience anxiety, it is locked in by all of your emotional congestion. And as soon as you become someone that starts to feel clean and clear emotionally, that anxiety starts to loosen its grip. It starts to dissipate.
Yeah. I ended up dancing and shaking around and doing something because I realized I needed to like move it through.
Mhm.
I'm still learning this myself.
Yeah.
It's like we walk around sometimes with like heads on a stick
Yeah.
and not like really connecting it all. At least that's what it feels like for me. And I know about this stuff, but still, there's a lot in theory, but actually that next level to really feel it through, full
Yeah.
through to the body so it can be released, so it can be clean.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is to me the most important key. It's the most
Mm.
important key because of how important it is to be clean and clear for all aspects of your holistic health, because of what it does to your energetic frequency, because when you feel good, you feel good,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
That has to be enough. Feeling good has to matter.
Yes. And why is it not at the top of our priorities? I mean, I know, well, I'd like to know if it really is for you. Like that's what you know. That's the way I really feel like I know that to be true. But
Yeah.
yet, like you said, like you've said about in conduit, the addiction to the programming stops us from really living and breathing that how
Yeah.
we feel is of the utmost priority, that
Hmm.
feeling good
Yeah.
and all
Yeah.
that flows from it.
Of course. Well, I mean, this is the old program. It's also the old program existing in a third dimension of consciousness where everything is underpinned by lack, fear, and separation. So it drives us to believe that the solution lives outside of us, that the answer to how we want to feel lives outside of us, that the answer to more wealth lives outside of us, that the answer to more connection lives outside of us, whatever it is. Whereas the truth is that it's all an inside job, and the feeling comes first, and the feeling comes from you. And it is the new world that recognizes the redefinition of success. The old definition of success never had give a shit about how you feel in it. Nowhere in it, because no one modeled that either.
What I love, the more we are discovering this, the more we can bring it into our homes and our communities and our workplaces and ourselves. We get to really break cycles of being and see real change, generational change that will live beyond our lifetimes.
Yes, and that's the biggest reason why we do it. Initially, we get all the gains, right? Like we enjoy all of the fruits of coming within and working on ourselves. The bigger picture is once you leave this physical body and your lifetime as Natalie and Tracy are over, what did we drip down to the people that are still here, to the generations after us? That's the question we need to be asking.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah.
I know you've got, is it two daughters?
Three.
Three daughters.
Yeah.
And I've got a 12-year-old daughter and two stepdaughters who are late 20s, just turned 30. I mean, as a mother, I'd love to know if you have a top tip for me and my 12-year-old and anyone listening, like parenting, about this notion of what we're dripping.
Such a powerful question, Natalie. So the biggest thing, I'll give you like an actual action practice, but before I do that, I cannot emphasize enough that the most important thing you need to do for your children is earnestly work on yourself, is make a decision to become a highly conscious woman, make a decision to step on the path of becoming, the step on the path of evolution, because that is what loves our children the most. That is what they then get to see and experience off of you. And we cannot help our children if we are not healing and expanding ourselves. So many moms, I was just spoke at a summit last week, and these beautiful, beautiful women were like, oh my God, do you have anything for, our daughters? One of them had a 13-year-old, one of them had an 18-year-old. And I mean, we're always working on things because it's our intent to create some great stuff for youth. I said, but don't spend your money. Don't waste your time investing in your children's confidence, mental health if you're not working on you. because to put them back inside a home with a mother who's dysregulated is going to undo anything that they did in coaching, in therapy, in a group program.
Yeah.
It's really important. So
Yeah.
let that land, because it might sting, but it needs to. You
I
can't
think
avoid
it's true.
you can't avoid yourself and then
Mm.
expect to have evolved, empowered, enlightened children.
Who are you being?
Right, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So what would be the most important thing? Take breathing breaks throughout the day so that you can start to practice your own regulation. Like you're saying, what can we do right now, right? Because the more we stop throughout the day and breathe deeply and allow ourselves to experience a dropped in, regulated, centered, grounded state, that will rub off on our daughters and our children, sons, daughters, everyone. And it will also allow you to recognize when you're getting triggered, when you're getting constricted, which we do. Listen, motherhood, oh my God, it is quite the journey. And when we can pay attention to how our bodies are responding to our children, and then we can, instead of reacting and having those moments, which I used to have a ton of, and then I had far less when I started my own journey of like, oh my God, I can't believe I just said that, or I can't believe I reacted that way. Let's move towards less, oh my God, I can't believe I did that, and more into response. And, it's moving from reaction to response. And that
Yeah.
is moving from being asleep to being highly conscious.
And I like what you're saying about throughout the day. Because I think what I recognize for me often, and I'm sure many people tuning in will know, we might start the day with great intentions
Yeah.
and wrap it at the end with like, what do we learn? But this pausing throughout the day, checking in, where am I at?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
How, and that breath work to kind of recenter, reground.
Yes.
I've
Yeah.
got to confess I'm not doing at the moment. And I wrote one of my notes here was going to be like, asking you like about your daily practices you have
Mm-hmm.
to connect in and remember the most expansive part of you so you can then fully express that most expansive part of you. And I guess
Mm-hmm.
it's perhaps links to where you were going with.
Yes. Yes. Well, the breathing, that's something we start every one of our students starts with breathing at the top of the hour, every hour. And it is a game changer. Do you have to recommit? Yes, because your mind's going to say, oh, this is stupid. You don't have time. You're too busy. I feel fine. And all of that is your mind's way of trying to keep you the same, because that's its job. That's what it does. And this is where you come in to do the work, and you become a mind magician, and you learn how to not believe a thought you think, and have dramatic shifts in your brain, because you're no longer riding the pathway of that old level of mind over and over and over again, right? There's so much beauty to the work, but something that's really important to recognize is your becoming journey is about making the unfamiliar familiar and the familiar unfamiliar, which means everything that is available for you in your quote next level or your highest self experience is currently unknown at the level of your current identity. And anything different and unknown from who you've been and what you felt and what you've experienced before is always going to trigger your fear response, which is going to drive limited thinking like, I don't have time, I'm too busy, et cetera, et cetera. Not because your thoughts are real. Your thoughts are not real. Your thoughts are options. But because you keep attaching to them, you keep staying the same. And that's when your mind feels like it's winning. But the woman you're capable of becoming loses.
Yeah. And that piece around that safety in the body.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's all about the body. We've got to come back to the body, re-engage with the body, reconnect with the body, associate back to the body, trust the body, listen to the body. And then we get to play really, really high level mindset games,
Yeah.
because where a lot of things kind of go a little bit, I don't want to say wrong, incomplete, is we attempt to work on our minds or change our thoughts without realizing that thought work that doesn't include the body doesn't work. It's ineffective.
It's like that was the piece of the jigsaw I think I wasn't getting, which now I'm like, oh, now I know my next priority.
Yes, right.
Because feel the fear and do it anyway is not seeing the whole picture here.
Correct. And it's actually quite detrimental because feel the fear and do it anyway implies push through and just overcome it and just like get annoyed with it and just move on. But that actually makes the fear root in deeper. What we teach is how to love your fear because loving
Yeah.
it diffuses it. It's doing a great job. If fear is around, it's loving you. It's attempting to keep you where you are because it needs to perceive that you are safe. But you know that you're destined for so much more than that. And all the more than that lives in the unknown. So if that's where
Yes.
we're going to go, we got to get really, 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 really good at being the director and leading your fear instead of it leading you.
Yes. And as you were talking about breathing and the top of the hour, would
Yeah,
it be nice and appropriate to maybe you could lead just a moment just to sort of demonstrate something that people could take
absolutely.
away with
Oh,
them?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's do something really juicy. Okay. Let's do alternate nostril breathing. Okay. So I'm going to guide it so that you can just like listen to my voice. And what we do is you take your thumb and your ring finger. Those are the two fingers, and we toggle between plugging different nostrils. Okay. So let's take your thumb on your right nostril and plug your right nostril and take a deep breath in through the left. Now plug the left with your ring finger and exhale the right. Yeah, close your eyes, listen to my voice. Inhale the right. Plug the right with your thumb and exhale the left. Inhale the left. Plug the left with your ring finger and exhale the right. Inhale the right. Plug the right with your thumb and exhale the left. Inhale the left. Plug the left with your ring finger and exhale the right. Inhale the right. Plug the right with your thumb and exhale the left. Inhale the left. Plug the left, exhale the right. Inhale the right. Plug the right, exhale the left. And just drop your hands. Keep your eyes closed. And sense your body. Okay, you can open your eyes and come back because we could just sit there and float away and be done talking. How good did that feel?
Yeah. Yes. So if you didn't practice along and you're watching this, please rewind and do that.
Yes,
Because
definitely.
I definitely notice a notch more sunk in.
Yes, yes.
Talk us through what that's doing, Tracy.
Yes. So we tend to live in a stress state. So let me explain it simply. We have a sympathetic state of our nervous system and we have a parasympathetic state of our nervous system. And that sympathetic state, that's our stress state. That's our state of dysregulation. Our parasympathetic state is that dropped in state, the one we just felt when we were breathing, and you're like, oh, I feel like a drop, a deepening in my body. So let's consider that like our stress state or our safe state, that safe state being that parasympathetic state. So when we breathe the way we just breathe, we actually are activating our vagus nerve, which is the most magnificent, beautiful, largest nerve in our body. It's actually billions of nerves. And when we activate the vagus nerve, we activate that parasympathetic state. We activate that safety state. So that's actively what we're doing when we breathe in that depth and that pattern and that rhythm, because our breath goes deeper down into our diaphragm where we want to hit that lower lung area. And that is what kind of whispers, it's okay, you're safe, right? And it takes you from any kind of stress dysregulation into a state of grounded safety.
Yeah. And by doing that every hour, you're coming back to that. So we
Yes.
might go off, and we will,
Yes.
because we're
Sure.
human.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I love, yeah, new practice for me. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. And it works 100% of the time. The hardest part about any of this is remembering to work it, is making the choice to allow your highest self, the woman you're becoming, to lead when your current identity is so aroused and jacked up by the emotional addictions or the stress or the limited thinking or the habits of who you've been, right? Making that decision to make a new choice when your old you is just like, no, like it's hitting everything that is familiar. That is where the rubber meets the road in the becoming process. And that's where the discomfort starts to occur. And that's where we have to be willing to sit in the discomfort, to find comfort in the discomfort so that we can actually grow.
Yeah. Because all the magic is on the other side.
Yes, yes. And all the magic that's inside of you, it's like tapping into it again and again and again and again.
And off the back of Conduit, I was also really inspired by the question, what would she do? Which I'd
Yes.
kind of sort of thought of before, but as a practice, that's so powerful. What letting that version of you that you are visioning, that you were aspiring to lead the way, and that piece around the safety to be able to even go anywhere near that.
Yes, yes. And so inside of Mind Magic, as you were mentioning, so when you come into the school after you enjoy our delicious free resources in the library and take the assessment, it's so great. You then have the opportunity to invest in yourself and come into our curriculum, which starts with Mind Magic. And inside Mind Magic, which is our methodology, it's called Neuroidentity Evolution. There is a 4-step process called the integrator. And what would she do is actually step 3 of the 4. And what would she do is all about you learning how to embody her now, before your current reality tells you it's safe, before there's anything in your evidence that says, oh yeah, go for it, right? Because that's really how we manifest. That's really how we create a new reality, is by knowing and having a deep connection with the woman we're becoming, and then letting her take the lead. That's the whole game. And that's what would she do is based in.
And I love as you're describing Mind Magic, and I'll hand over to you to say more, but like I can sense there's just a beautiful layering of, now you've got to learn this, these are foundations, then
Yes.
you're ready for this, then you're ready for
Yes.
this.
The whole methodology, Natalie, stacks like that. And we talk about in the beginning of every semester, this is not another program you quote do. This is not a checklist. This is not a to-do list. You are learning embodiment. You are learning how to start to practice the new program instead of consistently practicing the old program. So each module in the methodology is intentional, and it stacks on the week before, and the week after matters that you paid attention to the week before. And it's not like you learn how to, let's say the breathing, for example, which happens in module 1. You don't just do your breathing in module 1, and then in module 2, when you're onto somatics, you forget about your breathing. No, you're continuously oh, and now the body feels a little more chill. And now we're introducing some somatic magic. Ooh, I'm going to do that. Right. And then in week 3, when we're moving on to something else, you don't go, oh, well, I did somatic magic and I move on. No, it's about teaching you a new way of being so you can embody who you're capable of becoming. And the coolest thing about it is it works 100% of the time. I have never, ever, 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 ever had a student that was willing and showed up to do the practice ever not have the craziest results, the most incredible success. We had a woman in House of Magic, which is an option where you get to go after you do mind magic, because that's the prerequisite for everything. There's a wholeness hypnosis that lives inside of the framework. And she was like, I love when I walk into my daughter's room and she's falling asleep to the wholeness hypnosis.
Oh.
Right? She's like, or I'll be in the kitchen making breakfast and she starts like saying all the things you say in it. And I feel like Tracy Litt's in my kitchen, but it's really my daughter just saying everything because it's programming her. It's hypnotherapy, right? It's just so cool. It's so cool.
Well, I'm definitely planning to attend next year in spring.
I can't wait to have you. Oh my God, it's going to be so good. And may I say this out loud? I don't know when the episode's coming out, but we are offering, so we always have our incredible virtual semesters. That is how the school runs. It is a beautiful virtual school, and spring semester is going to start March 3rd. We're going to be enrolling soon. We are doing Mind Magic Live in April, which is like a rarity. And what that means is you have the opportunity to come to Florida and be in the room with me and do the entire 9-week methodology immersively in 5 days. If that is something that you are available for, Natalie, I cannot recommend that enough, just simply because we get to be together live. And if it doesn't align, no big deal. We have the beautiful virtual semesters, which is where all of our students have gotten incredible results.
So at the moment, I'm thinking virtual semester. But that sounds amazing. And we'll be putting all the links in so people who are interested can go and find out about that. I'm really, really excited. As I said at the beginning, all the things in the jigsaw I can see are coming together in your beautiful program. And
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. And so between now and then, is there any kind of tips if I was to be working on something that will line me up really nicely for when I start, any suggestions?
Yes, the suggestion is come and take the assessment, right? So if you come to the school, put that in the show notes. If you go to theschoolofbecoming.com, the assessment's free. It gives you your results and shows you where you are on your own healing and becoming journey. And then it delivers you curated content that you can start with, things to read and watch and listen. And then we have some self-led programs, and I would start with Easy Like Sunday Morning. It's phenomenal, and it will prime you for your mind magic journey.
I have made a note. It will be happening. And so what else? Have you got anything else exciting coming up that you'd like to tell anyone listening about that we haven't mentioned so far?
Yes, actually. We have a huge live event happening in November of 2025. So if you can't make April for Mind Magic, this has nothing to do with our core curriculum. It does not require any prereqs or anything. It's called Trust Fall, and it is a 3-day women's immersive retreat teaching you how to embody trust at the level of your nervous system and your spirituality. And it is going to be next level incredible, November 5th through the 7th, 2025.
Oh, that sounds beautiful.
Thank you.
Lovely. One of the questions, Tracy, I could carry on talking to you all day, but I know you don't have time all day. And in answer to the question when this episode drops, I'm hoping this week. We're recording this on the 11th of the 11th, 11/11. All the miracles. I'm just got goosebumps even talking about that. But one of the things I like to ask any guest this show, This One Precious Life, inspired by the Mary Oliver poem and the line, what do you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? Tracy Litt. It's a big question, but I know, maybe you could give us a flavor.
I needed to feel that. First of all, that's gorgeous. Second of all, to be as loving as I possibly can, to go within with myself, to untether from anything that might be left, to open my heart even more, to be love, to spread love, to give love. That's what I'm going to do with my one world, because that's the best thing I can do for our world, is to heal and share my resonance and a quality in the authenticity of my vibration, and model what being a highly conscious, visionary woman who is pure love looks like.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
And it's made me think what that would be for me too. And I hope everyone listening can let that sink in too. Like, if we really were to be and lead with love.
Yeah. It's everything.
It's everything.
It's everything. And
So
even
powerful.
So powerful. And Natalie, what you just said, posing that as your beautiful listeners are with us, you then quickly, what you get to realize is, ooh, what's interfering with that? What feels scary about that? How much do I have to unarmor my heart to do that? How vulnerable do I get to become? What old parts of me that I left behind do I need to reassociate to? What kind of potentials and bigness and what I'm really here to do in the world does it start to tantalize and tingle?
And the name of the show, This One Precious Life, like this is the chance we get to sink into all of it, feel all of it, embrace all of it.
Yes.
Feel all of it, and to whatever untapped potentials are there, to go after them.
Yes. This is your one precious life. Don't waste it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I have loved every second of this.
I've loved every second. All the details for how you can find out about Tracy and the incredible work she's doing in the School of Becoming will be detailed in the show notes. Enjoy the rest of your day, Tracy. Enjoy anyone listening the rest of your day. Any other final words from you, Tracy?
Thank you to you. This has just been a very satiating conversation. And in this one precious life, you will get to the end, because the only truth there is that none of us are getting out alive. And when you're on that fateful day and you look back at your life, what do you want to have seen? How do you want to have felt? What do you want to have experienced? Because if it's in you, it's for you. And you need to get out of the way.
Mic drop.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in to this special conversation featuring Tracy Litt. I hope that it has activated you and inspired you as much as it did me. If you have enjoyed your time here, then please do follow This One Precious Life for more conversations and episodes talking about authenticity, empowerment, and becoming the best and highest, most beautiful version of yourself, and embracing this one precious life. You can also find me on Instagram for more inspiration at This One Precious Life, And all the details you've heard about Tracy and her wonderful programs and how to get in touch with her are also in the show notes too. If you know of anyone who you think would enjoy this episode and be inspired themselves by tuning in, then please do pass on the love and share it with them. With all my love, until the next time, bye for now.